After being elected in 1828, Andrew Jackson institutes the spoils system, based off of the idea that to the victor goes the spoils. The president begins to appoint friends, family, and political affiliates to government jobs rather than people who deserve them by merit or experience. Of course, in 1828, it was the first time that a different party had held office, had held the White House in over a quarter of a century, so it would certainly be expected that any new president would appoint people that have the same beliefs, the same ideas, and that would support his plans and his strategies. Additionally, Jackson broke the stranglehold that the Virginians and the Adams had on the presidency. Remember that the first president, George Washington, was from Virginia, the second was John Adams, the third Jefferson from Virginia, the fourth Madison from Virginia, the fifth Monroe from Virginia, and the sixth John Quincy Adams. So this is the first time the country has a president who is not either an Adams or from the state of Virginia. As can be seen in this very non-flattering political cartoon, the caption is, "In Memoriam, our civil service as it was." Civil service, of course, is the government service, the people who work for the government and the people who do the jobs that the people need for them to accomplish. Here, President Jackson is portrayed in military uniform, as he was a military person and a hero of the War of 1812, at least as much as the War of 1812 can create a hero. But he's shown riding into office, riding into power on a pig. The pig is rooting in the mud for any money or any food that he can find. You can see the pig's saddle materials are set with money. And so he's going out and wasting money. As the sign says, to the victor goes the spoils, all of the jobs that he can appoint people to, whether they're qualified or not. So Jackson replaces the merit system, that is, finding the most qualified people for the office, with the spoils system. Pay off political favors, appoint friends, appoint party members, appoint relatives at the cost of experience and knowledge. This spoils system will then be in place until the 1880s, when the Civil Service Act, the 1880s, will replace the spoils system, and our government will set up the kind of system of meritorious service that we have today. That is, the requirement that people take civil service exams to show qualifications and have to interview in competitive interviews for jobs. However, it's also reasonable to understand that some of the attacks on President Jackson were simply cultural. This is a cartoon titled "The President's Levee," or "All Creation Going to the White House," as portrayed by Robert Cruikshank. This shows, this is not a well-educated Virginian president. This is not a well-educated Massachusetts Adams president. And this shows every manner of people riding their horses wild on the grounds of the White House, drinking on the grounds of the White House, dressed informally, dressed in work clothes, barefoot even. And that's what some people saw, that a more common element, or perhaps a lesser element, was taking over D.C., and the very well-educated Virginians and those from Massachusetts did not like that. So perhaps some of the attacks and some of on Jackson were based on biases from some of the other more affluent and educationally well-heeled states in the Union.